Hey guys, it's time for Tyria then. I kind of psyched you out on that one, didn't I? Usually I say,
You
hello
did.
everybody, welcome back. Um,
Yeah, I know you did. I was waiting for something else and I was like, oh, okay.
yeah,
We got a new.
changing it up. Didn't like it. I think I'm going to go back to hello everybody, welcome back on episode 42.
Okay.
But this is episode 41, where we start with hey guys.
Hey,
Uh,
everyone.
hey Miko, welcome back to this very long form discussion show that we do.
Thanks, Aaron. It's good to be back. Hope your week's been well.
It has. This is a long game.
Yeah.
It started to really like hit me this episode. Wow, Nightfall is a long game.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, and then we also kind of like diverged and did some side quests that kind of deviated us for a while.
Yeah,
But, you know.
yeah. As I was thinking about why that is, I because Prophecies has more missions that you have to do consecutively to get to the end.
Hmm.
But Prophecies has so much less side content,
Yeah.
and
This is true.
everything is so much less substantive in Prophecies. I feel like. Um,
Hmm.
So I think that's where the bulk of our like kind of time spent in the Nightfall campaign is those early episodes where we were doing like 20 quests. Those those make the game seem real long.
Yeah, and I know that we mentioned it. I think we've mentioned it a couple times that it feels like by the time they got to Nightfall, ArenaNet had kind of figured out what they wanted to do. Like, and whereas Prophecies, they were kind of figuring it out on the way, and then Factions felt a little bit better, and Nightfall feels a lot more polished.
And it's funny
So,
because from what I hear about Nightfall and Factions, from what I've heard, were kind of made on a time crunch. Like they
mm-hmm.
kind of really ground these ones out, but they're so much
Yeah,
better,
yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah.
funny. It just shows
And
how much you can get done with game development once you've got the groundwork laid, right?
yeah, yeah. And I think if you're not second guessing yourself or you can just move along and kind of work on instincts. I think they had to because of the time crunch that they had to kind of trust their instincts a little bit better.
Yeah, and we've run into spots in Nightfall where things like seemed unfinished or stuff or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, but probably not nearly as much as in Prophecies, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just an opinion on game development from two people who don't make games, so take from that what you
That's right.
will. Uh,
That's right.
ArenaNet devs who I know listen to the show, feel free to respond in the
Slap us
comments.
down. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Don't slap us down, but you can respond to the
you
comments.
can respond in the comments. You can tweet on Blue Sky or Twitter at our account and start some shit. All right. No, we like ArenaNet.
They do.
Miko, what happened? What has happened in this game? Like, where are we in the plot right around this current time?
So in the last episode, I have to go back to my notes, so bear with me. We went to we did a couple of things. We finished up Mirza, right? But we also have decided, or we didn't decide it, but we were trying to get out of Vabi. People have decided that hey, Nightfall is actually coming. And we were like, yeah, we've been telling you that all along. And so now things have actually gotten a bit more real. Places have been not taken over, but invaded by
I,
Nightfall, and we kind of had to drive them back.
I feel like
Um,
for Miko the Paragon, things might have gotten a little too real last
a
episode.
little bit too real, a little bit too real. Bad builds or inefficient builds or just not. Yeah, that was my experience last. That was
Very
my experience
possibly
last
just a bad,
episode.
very possibly just a bad class.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know. So like today, I'm saying that hey, Paragon's actually not that bad. Last time, I was like, you know what, I'm not really feeling this, but today I'm feeling a little bit better.
Okay, excited to hear
Um,
about Miko's build update.
yeah, but yeah. So we went and cleared some places out because people were having bad dreams and visions about Nightfall taking things over. In particular, Milani had a dream saying that Ranjak was being taken over and we needed to go save the village. And then some random person came and told us, "Oh, hey, by the way, the Garden of Severin has also been invaded. We need to go over there." And then Koss and Milani got into a bit of a tiff, and we had to figure out who we were going to listen to.
Who did you listen to?
I listened to Koss. And that was like my downfall, apparently. You listened to Milani, and things went a little bit more smoothly.
Well, me and Milani go way back, right? We've been looking out. Yeah, we've been looking out for Ron Jock for a minute now, so I felt duty bound, in all honesty.
Yeah.
The conclusion of which occurs in this episode, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we also helped out the Centaurs fight the Marganites. That went a little bit better for Aaron. Mirza decided he was tired of them, like, slowly trying to take over their ancient tree. He's like, "I'm taking the fight to them. Come with me." And we were like, "Yeah, let's do that."
Yeah. And I thought, so I was insistent on doing those quests, like keeping a lookout for them ourselves, because I thought the game would never take us back to Mirza.
Yeah.
I should have trusted the game, because it takes us back to Mirza this episode.
It does.
And I'm pretty sure this is when we're supposed to insert those quests into our playthrough. But we found some other stuff to do on the side this episode, so
we did.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. We got content for you. Before we jump in, I think we'll talk about the secondary quest we did, and then kind of meander towards the main plot. But I believe, as you just mentioned, you made some build changes on the Paragon.
I did. Yes. I had gotten some advice from one of our viewers who's been good at, like, commenting on our builds. And they said, "Hey, why don't you try going a little bit more offensive? Your build looks a little bit too defensive now," because I did that Imbagon build. And I was like, "Well, I mean, sure. Why not?" And things went a little bit better when I ran the primary quest and the mission for this episode. And I was like, you know what? I bet I can make this even better. Hey, I think I can pick up Soldier's Fury now.
What does that do?
So Soldier's Fury is another one of these, like, adrenaline boosting elites. And it helps you attack faster, or you attack faster and you gain more adrenaline. It reduces your armor integrity, but, you know.
What's your secondary?
Warrior.
So it's better than 4 Great Justice.
Yes.
I would assume so.
Yeah, I've been pairing. Let's see. So the Imbagon build had not Soldier's Fury. It had the other one, whose name I'm already forgetting. That I had picked up.
Commander's Consternation. Yeah.
Yeah. If I can find the build real quick, I'll let you know. But I
feel like all those Paragon elites have, like, the same name. Just, like,
I feel like you're not wrong.
Differently worded.
Yeah, it's Focused Anger. Yeah, that's what it was. So Focused Anger, Soldier's Fury. So, you know. So Soldier's Fury has a shorter cooldown and faster recharge time. Like, the recharge, it basically is like a Signet, except that it costs 5 energy.
Okay.
Because it recharges in, like, 5 seconds, and I'm like, that's pretty good.
Okay, so it's a way to, like, maintain double adrenaline, essentially.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's very strong.
Yeah, so I've still slotted in a warrior shout for adrenaline, and the build actually calls for To the Limit, which is from Prophecies, and it's available at the end of Prophecies. I was like, I'm not going to do that. And I don't have enough coins to, like, get myself a tome. So I'll just slot in something else. I slotted in a different warrior that sounds similar, but it's not. It's, what the hell is that skill called? Bear with me.
Because To the Limit.
Make your time. I think that's what I slotted in. It's also a Paragon skill.
Because To the Limit just gains you, like, immediate, like, 4 strikes of adrenaline or something.
Yeah, and so, yeah, it gets you, Yeah, for however many foes are in your earshot.
So if you have enough foes present, it basically like insta pops all your adrenaline skills to be available. That's
Yeah,
pretty tight.
yeah. So I mean, it sounds really nice. I don't have access to it, so I went with Make Your Time, which is a Paragon skill, and it gives you a strike of adrenaline for each party member within earshot. So it's still not bad, but you know,
Should still about it.
um,
It'll be more consistent if anything.
I would think so.
So now you're just like
Um,
spamming, like throwing attacks out there, doing damage.
yeah, and it's apparently it says there's a bug, and it says it counts all allies, not just party members. So you know,
Oh,
maybe that counts minions. I don't know. But I'll have to test around with it. Anyway, so I slotted in this build, this Soldier's Fury build, and I'm liking it. I went and farmed up some more faction. I went and got Spear of Fury. I went and purchased, so I went and did the first quest of Edge of the North just to get to Edge of the North so that I could buy some Edge of the North. Why am I saying that? Anyway, EOTN skills from the skill trainer up there. So you know, we're doing better.
Miko's spoiling herself on the Eye of the North content.
Yeah, Eye of the North. Thank you. Yeah, Spear of Redemption, Holy Spear. Those are the two that I picked up from Micah up there in Eye of the North, and I picked up Blazing Spear, which I think I had that. Anyways, but so yeah, so now my build feels a little bit more complete. It feels a lot better. I feel like I'm doing damage, and the only thing that I'm sad about is that I dropped fallback. So now when I'm running around, I don't have an instant speed boost.
You feel very slow. Yeah.
I feel very slow.
I've got it on Zed, except he has only like 4 in command, so I get to move fast for like 3 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's good that you're cranking out a little more damage now. Hopefully, you said the content felt a little smoother this episode with the damage
once
increase.
I got to especially when I'd ran a difficulty master quest, and that felt better.
Yeah, we should talk about those because these are a couple quests that we both did. It's really just one quest because the first quest is like a non-quest.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you how I got here. I was running through just like doing the plot, and there was an Order of Whispers guy at one of the res shrines, and he had a green exclamation mark over his head.
Okay.
And so I talked to him, and he's like, "Yo, dude, you should go talk to the Seeker of Whispers."
Yeah.
So I did that, and I got the skill that you click, and it makes Marganites go boom. Does like 100 damage to Marganites or something, so that's cool. I get to have that now that I'm a Lightbringer. Right. And then I looked around the Chantry, and I saw that the Whispers Acolyte, I want to say, has a quest, and that's where we find ourselves doing these quests. What did the Whispers Acolyte tell you about?
So he wanted us to go and check out a rumor. There's a rumor that a tomb, someone has escaped from their tomb.
This is some interesting information here because I believe there are some ties made here that we have not heard about yet.
Correct. Yes. And so he's saying that they interrogated a Titan called Savio Prolium.
I love that the Titan, all the Titans are just characters from HBO's Rome. Like you could just insert any of these Titan names into the plot of Rome and they would just work.
Yeah. He's like, the most of what we know of the God of Secrets comes from one of his creatures that we captured at great cost. We interrogated, and when he would no longer aid us, we sealed him away. But during the recent storms, a great commotion was heard around the tomb, and we need someone to go check the tomb to make sure nothing's happened.
Yeah, I like how he just says there was a great commotion, which is very funny. And yeah, he mentions that all they learned about, like all they know about Abaddon as an order, is from interrogating servants of Abaddon that they captured like 100 years ago or whatever. Yeah. And then he stops, like, period, end of sentence, and then he's like, anyway, a Titan escaped. So he doesn't overtly say this Titan is a servant of Abaddon, but he heavily implies it.
Right.
And so then he directs us to go to this Titan's tomb. He's like, basically, I need you to check. I need you to see if this Titan escaped. Where does this send us?
So this sends us conveniently right next to the monument to the defeat of Palawa Joko.
This is incredibly lazy.
It is incredibly like, so they've decided to double dip on sealing away Palawa Joko and this Titan. What could possibly go wrong?
And did you
mhm.
notice that for this quest they just add a plaque to the
Yes.
to the tomb?
Yes.
That's not there when you come here in the open world.
Yeah, I know. And so, like, I was doing the primary quest before the mission that we ran, and so I had this quest already in my log because I had picked it up a while ago, maybe 2 episodes ago, and I just hadn't gotten around to doing it. And I was like, oh, it's got a name on the an interactable name on the thing that's next to Palawa's thing. Oh, look that's the name of the tomb that I'm supposed to go look for. So my quest updated, and I was like, oh, okay, that's great. And yeah, so I don't know what the commotion was, but I'm wondering if you're actually supposed to do this quest after the primary quest that we did. Because I'm wondering if the commotion is what happens in that primary quest.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of confusion on the primary quest that we will talk about when that time arrives. But for this, you show up at the monument to Palawa Joko, which theoretically is where Palawa Joko is imprisoned. And I guess I have so many questions. Is there a giant demon prison here with like inmates? But
right.
Is it just this Titan and Palawa Joko that are imprisoned here? Is there like 5 guys here? Is there 100? I don't know.
I mean, I've played Path of Fire, so I know the answer. But right now, we're going to pretend that we haven't played Guild Wars 2 and don't know the answer. Because, yes, this is very confusing.
Yeah. You can... Because you can go to, like, his tomb in Guild Wars 2. Yeah. There's some fun dialogue related to what happens with Palawa Joko down the line at the end of the mission. So they double dip on the tomb, and there's just a plaque, and your quest log actually updates whether you read the plaque or not, funnily enough.
Yes.
And I was like, your quest log updates to, oh no, the Titans escaped, we gotta go tell the Order. And I'm looking around like, who says? Yeah. I don't see any evidence of anyone escaping.
I know, yeah, because there's like, everything looks the same.
But if you go talk to the plaque, it says it's cracked. So I guess that's what that's our evidence. So we go back to the Order and we report, hey, it looks like that Titan's gotten up out of that tomb.
Yeah.
And then we go that concludes that quest. And then they want us to do a quest called Between a Rock ...
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got to go, for whatever reason, the follow-up to this is to go and defend some defenseless villagers out in Yatendi Canyon from Marganites that are now invading.
Yeah, he says they're pissed off about the imprisonment of the Titan, and now that he's free, they feel like they can go for vengeance, so they're just like slaughtering peasants through the countryside.
Right.
I don't know why they wouldn't have just done that before, but they're doing it now. So, I guess now that Abaddon's powerful enough to send enough Marganites, right? I guess that checks out. So we have to go defend a Yatendi Canyon's village from this Marganite assault. And this is marked as a master quest.
It is.
How'd this go for you?
This went remarkably easy compared with the last difficulty master that I did.
This is not a hard master quest. There's a good reason this is a lot easier. It's a one-directional assault, so you don't have to deal with multiple directions. And then it's also got a choke point for you to defend, which helps deal with the vast numbers of enemies. So you just have a way more advantageous position here compared to the Mirza battle quest from last episode. I had an absurdly easy time with it. Just a bunch of Marganites attack this village, basically. That's the whole quest.
6 waves, and they don't even come at you very quickly. You've got a lot of downtime, or at least I did. I had a lot of downtime between when the waves would show up, and they're just... I don't think they have any healers in the bunch,
No,
but maybe they do.
they're all the first one is like rangers and necromancers, and then the second one
Hmm.
is like reapers and executioners, and then the third one is like a mix of those plus maybe a sorcerer or two.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
the,
so I think that the lack of clerics made it also easier because no one is healing them from taking damage.
yeah, the clerics are annoying. The clerics have Spellbreaker, which doesn't seem that annoying until I think my group gets a lot of damage out of Zed Shadowhoof, and if he can't cast spells on people, it becomes an issue. So,
Hmm.
Margonite clerics are really annoying.
Yeah.
Fortunately, none in this quest. You do have to fight like 4 bosses on your way to this quest, and
I ended up fighting two. I think I didn't find the other two.
the Harpy boss is skippable. You can like aggro dodge him. And then I think I killed the Cornin Paragon boss and didn't even know he existed.
Right.
And then there's Corporal Suli, who we've already killed like
Mhm.
4 times.
Yeah.
And then there's a Rock Beetle boss somewhere in there.
Yeah.
The wiki actually warns you about these bosses because they're like arguably more difficult than the quest.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. And there's also like a bunch of Margonites already inside this, like, because you're defending the
And
fortress
the
of Jahai.
backside, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's the backside of the fortress of Jahai. And it's just swarming with Margonites, but the wiki's like, don't worry about those. They're not a part of the quest.
Yeah, I was like, okay, thanks.
Which I'm glad I read the wiki because I would have gone in here, thought that was the quest, and gone straight for them. And
Well,
then,
I didn't read the wiki as closely as you did, but
Hmm.
I ran past the marker. I realized that the enemies at the back were not coming over, and I was like, did I overshoot the marker? Like, is what's going on? And then all of a sudden I see that there's a group coming in from behind. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll fight these guys. And then that's when the quest updated and said, one group of whatever, you have 5 groups left. And I was like, okay, I'll just stick with these guys and ignore the rest then.
Yep,
And that's what did it.
yeah, that's the strategy. So we take that quest back to the Acolyte, and he says, thank you. And then there isn't any more to that quest chain. That's kind of
No, there's not. It's sad.
Yeah, so but like huge nugget of like information in the pre-quest in that like supposedly the Titans work for Abaddon? Question mark?
Yeah.
Which is like
Yeah.
if you think about because the Titans are the antagonists to prophecies. So tying them into Abaddon, the precedent that sets for like the overarching plot of the 3 games together is crazy.
Yeah.
So food for thought, guys. Think about that as we continue throughout the journey that is Nightfall. That we're probably in like the final third of now. I want to say.
I think so.
Yeah, we're probably 2/3 of the way through Nightfall.
Yeah.
Really quick, because I think you did some quests related to Margaret the Sly, right?
I did.
She had like a chain for you to do.
A 2 quest chain.
Gotcha. I went because last episode I mentioned that I stopped by Ronjock and the Elder Jonah had like one more defend Ronjock quest for me to do, and I blew him off. I like went back in time to back before we killed General Bale, and I talked to Jonah, and I found out that General Bale had ordered the destruction of Ronjock as like the conclusion to that whole deal from like 10 episodes ago.
Okay.
And I agreed to help him defend Ronjock. This quest is called Undead Defenders.
Okay.
The reason it is called Undead Defenders is because Elder Jonah is like, hey, I'm actually a necromancer. I can summon the undead.
That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't see him summon any undead, but there were so many minions running around from my Olias that, like, who knows? Honestly, some of them might have been Jonah's. I don't know. And 3 big old groups of Cornins attack, and we just got to drive them off. It was pretty easy.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. The Cornins show up, and they have the like commanding officer has a speech where he's like, Varesh has ordered the destruction of Ronjock due to not meeting production quotas. It's very dystopian. And then he says the villagers will be relocated to like other facilities, and then ... those who survive anyway, right?
Right.
Very very sinister. So basically, they have free reign to just destroy the village and the villagers as well. But I like kind of did a like flag my heroes to the middle so I could aggro all the groups that come in, and I don't think I lost any villagers.
Nice.
Yeah, so that kind of tied up the Ronjock. There wasn't any follow up. Jonah did not have another exclamation. So I think that is the end of the Ronjock storyline as far as their like struggle in Korna. And I think I was supposed to do that before doing Maddock Crevice.
Yeah, I wondered about that because I remember you saying that Jonah was kind of an asshole. He kind of sold out the village or something. You were talking about that, what, an episode or two ago?
So last episode he like fired Dreamer Hollow. He like banished
Right.
her for having bad dreams. Which if when your dreamer gives you bad news and you just fire them, I don't know what the point of having a dreamer is. Um,
Yeah.
and then Milani shows up and she's like, "Hey, I've been having the same dreams," and he's like, "You're fired too. Get out of here."
Yeah.
And then Nightfall comes to the village and he's like, "Oh shit, this is bad. Help!"
hmm
And so I bailed him out of that, and I bailed him out of getting his village razed to the ground by Kornan soldiers. Not a fan of Elder Jonah, guys.
Yeah, he's okay. He's not a very good elder,
I'm
village elder.
Yeah, I'm voting for Chuno to replace Elder Jonah.
No, don't bring in Juno.
I get
He'll
excited every
just
time I go to Ronjock because Chuno has an exclamation mark over his head, but it is just that Radiant quest to feed that Drake.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, not excited about that.
No, no.
So when we grab our primary quest this episode, did you get it from Lone Eye and Sunspear Sanctuary?
Uh, no, I picked it up from Zerai the Learner, but I actually have a couple of quests also to
Yeah,
keep going about
yeah.
on the
I
side
was
quest.
just because I was wondering what leads you back to Sunspear Sanctuary, where you find these side quests in the command post, right?
Yeah, well, yes and no. Yes, yes. I found the first one, so I ran through and I had picked up the primary quest from Zerai the Learner in Kodash Bazaar, but I actually have to turn it into Lonai when I'm done.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's what led me back to the Sunspear Sanctuary. And so I went through. I don't know why I popped into the command post. There was a reason, but I've forgotten it. And then it's when I saw that Margaret was in there and she had a quest marker. So I picked up a quest called Fish in a Barrel from her. And she has a note from Jereb Nospine, who is so if you don't remember Jereb,
He's in that he's in that cavern complex in Barbara Shore, right?
yes. So he also because he was like the mission NPC or something or
He was
um
part of a quest that we did.
yes, and so I had to go and talk to him because he stole the map to Gundera when we were going to go rescue Cormir.
Hmm.
And he stole the map off of some other guy, the no lucky guy. So anyway, Jereb Nospine, he's decided that he needs help. He wants us to meet with him because he wants us to go, and he's arranged a meeting with a couple of his Cornin contacts, soldiers. And so Margaret's like, I think he's saying that this is a good opportunity to like feed him false info, and I think that's a good idea. Why don't we go do that? So we're like, sure, okay.
Would you say
So we
this
go out there.
quest is maybe not contemporary with the plot also, like the one I did?
Yes.
Gotcha. So like
Yeah.
we're going back in time
We're sort
again.
of back in time.
Yeah.
And so we go out to Sunward Marches, and he's like, yeah, so these Cornin soldiers, they've been trying to get the location of the sanctuary out of me for a while. I obviously I'm not going to give it to them. They keep thinking that if I do, that Varesh is going to make them generals. But all you got to do is go over, meet with them. I told him that to meet up, and I've got a password for them, and all you gotta do is just tell them the password. They'll know that I sent you, and everything will be fine, and you can just take them out. And so we're like, sure, no problem. So we go over, they're not that far away, and as you approach, the soldiers are like, okay, act cool. Pretty much. Act cool, everyone. Varesh is going to make us soldiers. All we got to do is take out these sun spears and we're in. And what it turns out, Jareb was not trying to help us. He was actually trying to help the Cornins. He was basically trying to serve us up to the Cornins.
He was playing us against each other because he has no
He
spine.
was, exactly. So they were there to take us out. And instead we take them out, and then we go turn that quest in. Margaret is pissed. Lonai is also pissed. They're like ready to like just kill him. And when you go pick up the next quest from Margaret, which is called You Can Run, she's like, I'm gonna show him what it means to double cross Margaret the Sly, and he's gonna get his. And she's talking up a big game. And you go out there, you've got to first meet up with our old friend Ruthless Savad out in the Barber's Shore.
Hell yeah. Back again.
Yeah. Back again. He's back. And Margaret sends us out to him first because Savad has always got his ear to the ground, is what she says, and he knows everything about anything. He's the first place to start. He'll know if he's heard, if Jareb is out there, he will have heard about it.
His
so we go on
his well-known secondary moniker, Knowledgeable Savad.
Right, apparently. So we get out there, and Savad's like, "Oh, you guys again? Sure, I saw Jareb No Spine. He came by here a couple of days ago. He's got some scheme or other, but he's not worth my time. My business is means more to me than helping out that guy." So I could tell you where he is, but I could also just tell the Cornins where you are, unless you bribe me. And so, of course, we have to bribe him because he's blackmailing us.
So he is, he's extorting funds.
Yes.
So I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
I know, right? And so he's like, "Yeah, okay, go talk to herbalist Makala in Yolan Haven and herdsman Minosi out in Margaret Coast. They probably know where he is."
How much money do you have to give him?
Oh, I don't know, 50 gold or something like that. It's not
a
big amount.
So he's he's not in the same like economic world as we are, right?
Apparently not.
We've been to Vabi. We're like, this is okay. Take your 50 gold.
Yeah. And so while I was talking to him, he actually had another quest available. So I did my little interaction with him for this quest, and then I clicked on him again, and he had a second quest for me called A Question of Morality. So I picked that one up.
It sounds like a heavy quest.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'll save that one for after this. And so the first one kind of has you running around, basically just map hopping. You go talk to herbalist Makala in Yolan Haven. If you remember her, she's the one who wanted to teach Koss a lesson for acting like a big shot all the time.
And gave him that dud strength potion.
Exactly. And so she's like, yeah, Jareb was by here. He wanted some of my remedies, but he had no gold on him, so I told him he could come and get my remedies when he had money to pay for it. And so she basically sends him on his way.
I'm starting to feel like she's not a pleasant person to do business with.
No, she's like, no nonsense, you know. She doesn't fall for like the sweet talking, I guess.
And sometimes if she doesn't like you, she'll just give you bad products.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So after that, we go and meet with herdsman Minosi. Now, herdsman Minosi is the one that I escorted him and his cows over to right outside Nundu Bay.
Right, yeah, I think
way back.
Yeah, I think we both did that one. And I think I lost one of the cows.
Yeah. Well, so he's still out there with his cows in that same spot. And so now when you go and interact with him, he's like, yeah, I saw that Corsair. He thought I was asleep, but I kept my eyes on him because I didn't want him stealing my cows. And he was muttering to himself about catching a ship. So I think if you just head south a little ways, maybe you'll be able to catch up with him.
So this man's like Forrest Gumping his way across Ilona.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you go over south, over around the corner, basically. And you find him, and he's still there, hanging out with Shifty Lem, who's there as well, but doesn't have anything to say for himself in this quest. And when you interact with him, he's like, "Oh no, you're supposed to be dead," and he goes hostile. And you kind of smack him in the face a couple times, and he instantly just doesn't. He becomes friendly again, and is like, "No, no, no! Please don't kill me! Please don't kill me! Here, take all of my money." And that's it. That's the end of the quest.
I was gonna say, Shifty Lem's a recurring character. They can't have us kill him off.
And no, Shifty Lem didn't. Yeah, I know. It was funny though that Shifty Lem like just stood there and like did nothing, even though they were kind of both still hanging out. But you know, whatever.
I feel like the Corsairs are very much like the Jade Brotherhood of Nightfall.
Yeah.
Lots of maybe more like the Ampha actually, because I feel like the Ampha had a lot of recurring like ne'er-do-well characters in factions.
Yeah.
And they do that a lot with the Corsairs. Like all these names,
Yeah.
I recognize the name of like everyone in that quest.
Yeah. I think the disappointing part of this quest, other than the fact that he just coughed up his money after we smacked him a couple of times, was that Margaret, who'd been talking shit in the command post when we took the quest from her, kept talking about how she was going to teach him a lesson. No dialogue from Margaret. No dialogue at all. Like no follow-up. We didn't even have to interact with Margaret. She just had to be in the party.
Yeah.
So
there's a missed opportunity there.
There was a missed opportunity. It was a disappointing payoff.
To like write some fun dialogue.
Yeah.
I do think it's in character for Margaret. Margaret does not seem like an overtly violent or bloodthirsty person. She just wants to get paid. But there could have been some fun dialogue with her about like blustering about why she's not actually going to do anything right now that she has her money back.
Yeah.
But yeah, not time for all of that, unfortunately, in some of these quests.
No,
we're finding that here and there. But a good little side romp with the Corsairs. I think that probably ties up the Corsair like content in Nightfall.
Well, I do have this other stuff from Ruthless Avad.
Okay, so you grabbed a whole nother quest.
I did. I grabbed a whole other quest, and he was basically wanting us to go out and steal some medicinal medical supplies from herbalist Umjabwe.
Not the same herbalist who made the potion for Kos.
No, herbalist Umjabwe, when we were like first running around in Korna, we had to talk to him or her, when a bunch of young men from a village were conscripted into the Kornan army, and we had to go and rescue the conscripts.
Okay, so we did a Narashi thing for this person.
Yeah. Yes. Wow. You tied that up because I couldn't remember how we got to him. But yes, you're right. Narashi sent us.
That's how we got everything back at that part of the plot.
Very, very true. Very true. So we have to go and steal his medical supplies. And I'm like, I mean, he's my buddy. I don't want to do that. And so Ruthless Avad is like, okay, I just need you to go and steal these medical supplies. Don't kill any Kornans along the way, and we'll be fine. When you got the supplies, come back to me. Okay, fine. So we go out there, and immediately, like, Umjabwe is surrounded by Kornans. They're all hostile. There is no way to not kill them. You have to kill them. Because he's like saying, help, help, somebody help me. They're trying to steal from me.
Like, there's no dodging the aggro bubbles.
No. Like, they're, like, right on top of him. If you want to go and interact with him, you have to go and take them out. So I killed them. And he was like, oh, thank you for saving me. You're such good people. Here, take these medicines. You'll probably get there faster than I will, and are more trustworthy than these Kornans. Just take them over to Ranjak village and give them to Elder Jonah. There is an epidemic of fever, and the villagers need the medicine. So now you're faced with a choice. You can either go and take these medicines over to Jonah in Ranjak, or you go back to Savad and you take the medicine to him. Now, I would have just taken him to Ranjak because screw Savad, but I read the wiki and there was another quest after this only if you go and talk to Savad.
Right.
So I went.
like
Yeah.
in your role-playing brain, you're like, my character has a nagging sensation that she should bring it to the Corsairs, even though it seems like
Yeah.
the wrong thing to do.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Justifying it to yourself. Like, I
Yeah,
gotta get
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
quest.
Because ruthless Savad is like gonna tell the Cornins where we are because
Also,
he's blackmailing us.
Elder Jonah's an asshole, so
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking too. I was like, okay, I remember Aaron saying Elder Jonah's an asshole, so maybe I'll just screw him over. So I go out to Savad, and he's just like, great, you got my supplies, great. What do you mean you took out an entire platoon of Cornins? I can't fence this shit now. He's like, fine, take them to the village. They can choke on it. And he's like, actually, can you do me a favor? I need you to take a message over while you're taking the medicine over to the village. Just take this message over to Janira. It's got my seal on it. Don't open it. And we'll count it as we'll call it even, and I won't tell the Cornins that you're around here.
do we get to find out what the message says?
Okay, so that's what I was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go back, I go over to Ronjak, give Elder Jonah the medicine, and he's like, oh, thank goodness, what took you so long? Well, I can trust you. You probably ran into some monsters. It's fine. I'll just take the medicine from you. And so you're like, great, thanks. That quest is done, and now I can fulfill the message for Janira, and Janira is also in Ronjak Village. And so Savad is sending her message, and Janira is the local healer for the village. But when you interact with her, she's like, yeah, I'm the healer. I mainly just assist with births. So she's basically like saying she's the midwife,
Mm-hmm.
and that she doesn't really like do much healing.
She's not out here making poultices.
No, not really. And when you give her the message, she's just like, oh my gosh, a message from Savad. I'm a little nervous. And she opens it and she's like, what does it say? That's none of your business. Thanks for delivering it. Unopened. You can go away now. I'm a busy healer, you know. And I'm like, what? So we don't get to know anything, right? We go back to Savad and to get your reward. And she's like, okay, she got the message. Good. All right, good. How did she look? Did she? Never mind. I don't want to know. You did this task for me. Your secret's safe now. Go away. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, is this another like cryptic, like romancing plot?
Yeah,
like side story?
They snuck one in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so my question was, is this another romancing plot, or is she in cahoots somehow with Savad, trying to prevent the medicine from getting there? I started wondering, but yeah.
So it sounds like, I think I think you just passed like a elementary school love note between people who sit on opposite sides of the classroom.
Of the classroom, yeah.
And I think he probably was not in her good graces at that particular moment, and I think the note is hoping that delivering the medicine will maybe get him back in her good graces.
Right. Yeah.
Damn it, ArenaNet, you've done it again.
I know. Then, so of course, after that, I went and checked the wiki to see if there was anything else with Janira, and there's not. So I was like, damn it, we're not going to be able to find out about this plot either.
Yeah, I've seen her hanging around in Ronjak, because God knows I've been to Ronjak a lot. And I've always wondered if I'd like run into anything involving her, but I guess you have to do the Margaret side of things. I feel like the Margaret side of things comes with a little more side questing.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that you said that the Master of Whispers didn't have anything in the command post for you.
He is not even an NPC in the command post as far as I can find.
At the front door.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't find him in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would think that maybe he'd be hanging out in the Chantry of Secrets, but I guess he's palling around with you, so he doesn't have to be there.
Yeah, could not find a single available quest in the command post. Looked through the whole thing. I even went over to like where the armor guys are.
Wow.
Nothing. Yeah. So I was kind of scraping the barrel for side quest content in this episode. And while I was doing the first primary quest, I actually ran into an old friend of ours.
Oh, yeah?
Out in Jahai Bluffs, in like an alcove surrounded by maybe 40 lions.
Oh my gosh.
Like level 12 lions. So like,
Oh,
I
okay.
actually
So
felt really bad killing them because I was like, these are,
yeah, they're more like cubs.
yeah, these are literally just lions going about their business. This sucks.
Yeah.
But unfortunately they were red, so I did have to kill them. There is a man named the Great Zatuka.
Yes.
And we've met this man before.
You did.
He's the guy on Istan who named his pig Pork Chop.
Yes.
And I think we met him again at some point.
So he's hanging out. Where were you again that you found him?
Jahai Bluffs.
Bobby? Jahai Bluffs? Okay.
Yeah, he's like a few doors down from Palo Ojoko.
Oh.
Which is a bizarre sentence to say out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got his, like, there's a few little alcoves on the side of the map, and he's got one with these lions. Zatuka is, like, immune to aggression from the wildlife, so, like, his whole quest is he leads you on a tour around the map.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, and he's running, and I have to deal with, like, enemies, so I'm like, oh crap, he's gonna go get himself killed. Nothing to worry about, he does not get himself killed. You just kind of catch up with him at your leisure. But he's like that guy, right? We've got one of these in most, I think in each campaign. The factions one was that dude who I almost did a quest for, and I kind of regret not doing it, but I don't remember the name of his group, but like a very braggadocious, ego-inflated, yet also incompetent Gilderoy Lockhart archetype.
Yes.
And so it's kind of just a quest where Zatuka leads you around the map and tells you of his fake exploits.
Of course.
Yeah, he tells us about getting carried off by harpies, and like he's so cool and calm that he enjoys it, right? He's like, it's like flying, right? Not scared for a second. And then he talks about bullseyeing a griffin in the head with a bow, mind you, from a mile out, which is not how bows work.
No.
And then he also talks about he was closing in on some prey, and then a Hecate tackled him from behind. But luckily, he learned kung fu at Xingje Monastery, so he was able to handle it. That's my favorite one. Just because he throws out specifically that he learned hand-to-hand combat at Xingje Monastery.
So wait, was Pork Chop with him?
I did not see Pork Chop.
No. Oh wow, missed opportunity there.
Yeah, no news on Pork Chop. Hopefully he's still with us. I don't think he'd fare very well surrounded by 40 lions.
Or with Zatuka.
Yeah. I mean, Zatuka was fine. So that was the things he told me about, and then he's like, "Hey, could you escort me over to the gate, and then we'll part ways?" And then he thanks me and says, "I'm a good traveling companion." So that's just a random thing you can stumble across. He does not have an exclamation over his head when you see him. You got to kill the lions first, and then it will pop up.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I saw a character I recognize, and I saw 40 lions, and I was like, this has to be a thing. So I investigated, and it paid off.
Right. Good job.
Yeah, and that was the conclusion of my side quest content. Did you do anything else that deviated from the main plot of the game?
No, that was it.
What we did for the main plot was a really long primary quest and quite a long mission.
Yeah. I think the mission could be shorter without the bonus.
Without the bonus and without the just very molasses slow boss fight at the beginning.
Yes, true.
The quest that we got, you from Zerai and me from Lonai, because we did diverging mission paths, is called...
Although their names rhyme.
Yes, Zerai and Lonai. Yeah, they do. I don't like that. I see what you're doing, ArenaNet. Yeah, it's called Crossing the Desolation, and basically there's a huge like info dump in this quest about how to make the plot of this game continue to work.
Right.
Basically, Varesh is headed across the desolation, which we've been seeing in our little visions, to a giant crater called the Mouth of Torment, which is supposedly where the 5 like human gods cast Abaddon down from the pantheon originally. Mortals cannot survive the sulfurous fumes in the desolation, so we have to find a way to follow Varesh across. I think we're assuming that she can cross because she's now more demon than human. Um,
Yes.
because later, Joko says that only the undead and the demonic can survive the fumes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Yeah.
Varesh is officially more demon
Demonic.
than human.
Yeah. Makes sense with her Klingon head.
Yes, no, she's full on Klingon at this point. I don't think we see her at all this episode, but as of
No.
last episode, she's got the what's that sword thing
The
they
ridges,
have called?
yeah, the ridges on their forehead.
Yeah, what's that sword that Klingons have called?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't remember.
The bat lav or something.
Okay.
Sorry guys, I don't watch Star Trek, but they got that goofy sword, and I'd like to imagine that Varesh has eschewed her scythe for one of those. Sound off in the comments if you know what that sword thing that Klingons have is.
Yeah, it's a batleth. Wow, you're really good at this. I googled. Sorry, viewers.
My dating myself here, but my parents are next generation people, so I
like it's okay.
enough to where that I was close on the batleth. But
yeah,
batleth tangent aside, there's also news that Cormyr wants to talk to us at the command post.
Yeah, which is the first we've heard of her since I rescued her out of Gandara.
Yeah, apparently, I think you were right, Miko. I think she's like been on bed rest.
She has been, yeah, apparently.
Because she has like a handler, that lady that you rescued her with.
Yeah, Shahai the Cunning, Margaret's sister.
Sister, yeah, is like, we meet them later, and she like is taking care of Cormyr, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's like her visiting angel or something. What does Cormyr have to say for us?
So Cormyr tells us that she has been having visions worse than Milani's. Hers are nightmares. And she starts telling us about her eyes back in Gandara, and then she says, "Never mind." We're like, "It's okay. We know that they got eaten."
Yeah, she like can't talk about it.
No, yeah, it's obvious PTSD, and I can understand that.
Yeah, and I don't think it's as simple as like they scooped out her eyes and ate them. It like, because what you see in the cutscene, the thing like pounces on her. I imagine there was like tentacles coming out of its mouth, like inserting into like a truly traumatic experience, right?
Right. And also, I think too, there's something about that whole eating of her eyes. It seems to have given Abaddon a stronger, I don't want to say connection, but like a way into her mind.
It is a ritualistic spiritual act. It has more consequences than simply removing the eyes. It gives you it gives Abaddon like a mental hold over you, that kind of builds over time as he grows stronger, which is evidenced by Cormyr's behavior in this dialogue.
Yeah. She tells us that we need to go in. You need to take Zed and talk to Mirza because we need to find a way to get across the desolation to go after Varesh, and Mirza will know how.
Yeah, she kind of pulls Mirza out of nowhere. But I guess I guess the Centaur territory is right on the border of the desolation, so like if anyone's gonna know, it's gonna be them. And so this is when we go and meet Mirza again. And me and Miko, we're like, oh, dude, Mirza, I know that guy. We go way back, right?
Way back.
way back to last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we go out to his tree. I usually leave from Venta Cemetery to do this because you can kind of just go straight there.
Mm-hmm.
Mirza basically talks about how Paolo Joko is the only one known, like still living, that's known to have crossed the desolation and could like tell you about it.
Yeah, and the reason why he knows this is because Joko had enslaved the centaurs. Yeah,
Joko, not nice to centaurs.
No.
Varesh, not nice to centaurs.
Nice to centaurs.
Kind of had a raw deal, but here's the thing: they also eat people.
This is true.
So, like,
and I'm wondering what came first: the enslavement or the eating of the people.
Yeah, and that's probably a question as old as time, and nobody remembers the answer. So, a lot of people probably just see the answer as eternal war. no judgments either way, right? Like enslaving nations of centaurs is never okay, and eating sentient beings is never okay.
Right.
Let's just
Yes.
establish that the podcast has that stance on both of
That's
those
right.
activities going
Correct.
into this episode.
Yes.
Um, and we got to walk through the entirety of Turai's procession to meet Mirza in the desolation because he wants to show us some shit.
Yes.
And it's
And
a
once
long
we
ass
get to
walk.
him, it's a long ass walk. I got turned around. I was like, "Where in the world is this freaking portal?"
Well, did
Finally
you
found
see
it.
if you could go directly up the left side and find that you couldn't?
Yep, and I think I kind of went towards the right, and I was like, "Oh, this looks like a path that might connect." Nope, that's a dead end. And then I took another turn. That was also a dead end, and I finally found the way.
Yeah, it's a hellscape of a journey. There's a fire djinn boss on the way there. Did you meet this guy, Kor, the
I
living
did.
flame?
Yes, I killed him.
I wasn't, because I was like, oh, we're just killing shambling mesas, whatever. I was not ready for this guy. Straight
Yeah.
up, like, just bursted Master Whispers to death. It was gnarly.
Oh no.
Yeah, we got him, but pour one out for Master Whispers. It was so
Poor
unexpected.
guy. Yeah.
And Mirza meets us in at like the border of the desolation. Do we have to go through the gate of desolation to get to the spot where Mirza wants to meet us?
Yes.
What did you think of the gate of desolation outpost?
It's pretty cool, and also very Ascension. There's lots of
Yeah,
ghosts.
yeah,
Very I was like, wait, did we just straight up walk into the Ascension
yeah.
part of the Crystal Desert?
For
Um
astute players, there's some things to pay attention to in here.
yeah.
Did you see the architecture?
Yeah.
It all matches the Crystal Desert stuff from
I
Prophecies.
know. It's very cool. So one of the thing, I mean, I hadn't remembered this about this outpost, so when I walked in I was like, wait, what? Why do we have Ascension people? And also why is all this architecture the same? So
Yeah.
obviously there's a connection.
Yep.
Yep.
And there's spirits walking around that are called Ascension Pilgrims.
Yep.
And like what we talked about when we were doing the Crystal Desert content, I'm assuming, if my memory is correct, that these are ghosts of the same civilization of people that followed Turiasa to their botched ascension.
Right.
They just died earlier on in the journey.
It makes you kind of wonder if, because this is essentially the map over, well, the outpost that connects in with Turai's procession. Like, was he trying to ascend from this place before he went up to the desert as well?
I would imagine this is where they started the journey from Korna into the Crystal Desert, and they made it all the way, because the Crystal Desert is positioned directly north of the top of the Nightfall map. So I imagine they make it that far in, like that deep in, and then it's so inhospitable and unlivable that, of course, they end up... Well, and they develop that, like, super weapon that there's that weird quest chain about. I don't know if we did that quest chain or not. I think we did. And they, like, supposedly maybe annihilate each other with, like, a magic nuke, question mark. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That sounds right.
Yeah, I don't know if we did that quest chain or if we, like, missed it, but there's a quest chain in the Crystal Desert in Prophecies about it's called a, quote, ancient weapon, I think, in the quest chain, and it's something that was developed by Turai's Ascension Pilgrims, and you can, like, investigate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard about this, and I can't remember if it was from our playthrough or from somewhere else.
Several people have done, like, videos on it, so you probably it's definitely not a unknown bit of lore, but yeah, I believe this is supposed to be the same ruins of the same civilization that you see ghostly people of in ruins of in the Crystal Desert and in Prophecies. So kind of cool visual reminder. I also liked in Mirza's dialogue under the tree, he mentions that the only thing you'll find in the desolation are I think sulfurous gas and bleached bones. Reference to the bleached bones you can find dotting the desert in Prophecies. So that was kind of cool. And Mirza is, like, waiting for us right outside the gate.
Yes, and he tells us not to go into the bounds of the sulfur, because that's where the worms are, and the worms were controlled by Palawa Joko. or they were said to have been controlled by him. So
He
he's
was
the only
able
one.
to control them at like the height of his power.
Right. And so if we want answers on how to control them, we need to go and find Palawa Joko.
And I'm annoyed because he could have just told us that before we had to run all the way
Exactly.
to the
Yes.
Gate of Desolation.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, so, but Palawa Joko is still entombed, right? He's entombed. Like we went over there, but no. Apparently
This is
not.
where deep confusion on my part enters the stage.
Yeah. So we go over. Is this where we go over to talk to go and check the tomb, or we have to go and talk to Cormier again, right?
So what I have here is that Mirza shows us the sulfurous waste. He shows us a worm spore. Apparently he had to show us the worm spore.
Right.
And he tells us about that's how Joko crossed the waste. Then he says to seek out Joko. So this is when we'd go back to the tomb at Jahai Bluffs. But he also reminds us to like be real careful with Joko because he's like the fucking wishmaster. And making deals with this guy is like not a good idea.
No.
Like if you wish for $1 million, he'd summon a giant gold bullion cube that just crushed you into a pancake.
Exactly.
That type of shit. Yeah. And I did want to point out that when you come out of the Gate of Desolation, it does look really cool. The desolation is like desolate. It
really is. It's very just
like dead foothills stretching into the distance. It is dead.
Like it's a dead land.
Yeah, it actually struck me how well they communicated this. Like, yeah, this is the desolation. It's called that for a reason. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we gotta hike back to Jahai Bluffs and examine the Joko monument. And I'm confused here because, as far as like you mentioned earlier, as far as I'm aware, up to this point, Palawa Joko is still down there. He's still imprisoned.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I thought that we would have had to have done the Order of Whispers quest first before this. So having them simultaneously in my quest log, I was like, okay. Because when we get there to investigate the tomb or the monument, Cormier and Shahai the Cunning are there.
Yeah, and Shahai, this is when I got the impression that Shahai is like taking care of her because she's like, yes. Is there anything you need? Can I get you anything? Do you want some pancakes?
Do you need a soda? Do you
yeah, pillow? Exactly. She's got one of those hospital water cups like on hand at all times.
Yes.
The straw that always slurps. Yeah, and we get there, and Cormier tells us about how after defeating Joko, the members of Trios' elite guard formed the Order of Whispers and bound Palawa to his tomb, since he could not be killed.
They sealed him away.
Yeah, and she sends us out to the monument, which is where we meet up with her and Shahai. And is there a torment portal there right away, or does that pop up later?
No. It pops up later.
Okay, so what goes? I'm super confused about what happens in this scene, so please tell me what you witnessed.
So what I witnessed is that Cormier starts telling us that she fears before we actually got out there, right? She says, my time is coming to an end.
She does, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that Abaddon is like in my mind more. And we got to move quick. And then that's when Shahai is like, are you okay? Do you need to go back to the sanctuary? She's just like, no. My nightmares have led me to this place many times, is what she says. Which is interesting, because why is Abaddon leading her to Palawa's monument, essentially? Because that's what I got from that. And then she screams that she can feel his soul in her head, or she can feel him in Abaddon in her soul and in her mind. The portal pops up, and she's like, I will not let his darkness consume me here. And she just goes poof, disappears, and then that chaos rift or whatever closes up. And that's when Shahai's like, no, what's happening? And she runs off saying that she's going to go report this. And she tells us before she leaves to look around and see why she led us here. She's
like, figure the plot out while I'm gone.
Right, yeah. And so you go over to examine the monument, and then Joko shows up. So this is why I'm thinking that when the acolyte is saying, hey, we heard about there's this big commotion happened over there, and we need to make sure that that Titan is still sealed away.
Okay. So Joko
Yeah.
shows up for you, like in person.
Yep.
Okay. So either I missed this
Okay.
or this did not happen for me.
Oh, okay.
Because I could have just been like dialed into keeping up with reading the dialogue, and maybe I totally missed Joko showing up. But what I saw was Cormyr gets sucked into a torment rift. Shahai tells us to go look around, and then I read the plaque, and my quest log updates for me to start tracking Palawa Joko.
Yeah, I'm. Now you've got me doubting whether or not he showed up, because he showed up. I mean, he shows up in a cinematic.
Does he have any dialogue here? Like here at this part?
Apparently, according to the wiki, because I'm tracking as we're talking, I'm tracking the wiki to make sure I don't forget anything.
It's entirely possible that I just missed it. Like,
well, but there's a bug. Apparently, the wiki says that there's a bug, and that sometimes Joko fails to appear when the monument is activated.
Okay,
and
so
the quest will still update even though there's no dialogue from him after Cormyr leaves.
that is exactly how it happened for me. And so my confusion knew no bounds.
Right. Yeah, and so he tells us, he's like, "Oh, thank you. I'm Palawa, Scourge of Bobby. Hey," and says how he basically introduces himself to you, tells you how he was defeated at the Battle of Jahai and sealed away, but that his kingdom had no end, and I had all of these things at my disposal: undead warriors, primeval kings, and great worms.
Okay.
But now I'm off, and see you later, and he just leaves.
Okay.
And Zed is like, no, let him go. My people will be able to track him. We don't have to rush. And I'm like, really? We don't?
Yeah, I did not get any of that. So the plot went from Cormyr gets sucked into a torment rift, look around, to Palawa Joko is free, go track him down with Zed.
Right, yeah.
With like no visual or dialogue for any of that. So yeah, I got bugged out of a very crucial bit of plot, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plot does make sense going forward then.
Yeah.
I was very concerned about a huge gap in the storytelling, but it appears that it's just a bug. This strikes me as one of those bugs that they couldn't figure out how to get rid of, so they just put in a trigger to make sure that the quest continues, even if you get the bug.
Yeah.
Which
makes
is,
me wonder if they'll ever go back and fix it. But
yeah, it's probably a very difficult
on
one.
The list.
Yeah, so they had to band-aid it. But since it's a primary quest, it couldn't be ignored either. So that makes sense that they just put in an auto trigger. So yeah, I am able to continue the plot, and me and Zed do go off to meet up with someone named Tyria, I think, to track Palawa Joko.
Yeah, Tyria Trucktail.
And
which is a great name.
You can just it is actually, and you can just travel to Gate of Desolation and exit out the portal, and they're right there. I didn't. I was kind of on autopilot here, and I didn't know because I was confused about the plot. So I was like, I guess we're going here, and I didn't realize where the quest star was. I ran all the way there from Jahai Bluffs on foot.
Man. Well, that's a lot of B-roll.
Yeah, it did not dawn on me where the quest marker was until I got there and I saw the portal, and I was like, there's 20 minutes down the drain.
Sure.
Yeah, so they have Palawa cornered, and according to Tyria, he like being bound for so long means he like barely has any of his power.
Right.
So he's pretty easy to like pin down.
Yes.
Yep. And then did you get a cutscene?
Yeah.
Okay, what happens there?
Joko and Zed do a lot of shit talking.
And
he's like, did you think that you could escape us? We could follow your stench across the desert. And he's just like, yeah, you're a natural follower, Centaur. Your dead ancestors served as my cavalry. And I was like, oh, here we go.
Joko has like the same kind of racism that like your great grandpa had. That you'd have to like be like, Grandpa, not here.
Yeah, exactly.
Joko's super racist against centaurs, like vehemently. And it's like, it's almost like, I wonder if the people writing this were like mildly uncomfortable. But yeah, him and Zed kind of go at it pretty much in
They
every
do.
dialogue interaction.
Yeah, and your character, like our character, is basically trying to like act as referee, trying to get them to shut up and stop going after each other, so that we can actually try to extract information from Joko
Yeah,
about how to get across the desolation, because Mirza said that we need to find this out from Joko.
yeah. And our character is basically has the attitude of like, and the voice acting is pretty good. Our character is just like, listen, Zed, I get it. He's a bad guy. I get it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need his help. Please stop.
Yeah. And Zed is just like not having it. He's like, I'm gonna rip his limbs off. I'm gonna set him on fire. And we're like, we really just need you to calm down, bro.
I am curious about what happens if you set Paolo Joko on fire, though.
He's not gonna die.
Can't die, but does it hurt?
No, I don't know. I mean, maybe tickle.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we gotta work with Joko to get through, and Joko indicates that you have to use the worm as a steed, which
yes,
in the context that he's selling it to me, would indicate you ride the worm, but he says the worms travel beneath the dirt, so riding them wouldn't work.
No.
So I think we all know where this is headed.
Yes. And you've got to show them that you are their master, is what he tells us. Otherwise, you're worm food. So I think they're right. That right there is telling us, this is not gonna be your everyday mount.
Yeah, after this mission, I felt like I was worm food anyway.
Yep.
This next part is straight out of Dune, right?
Yeah.
We're just wrangling sandworms for this mission. This brings us to the Gate of Desolation mission.
Yep.
And the whole point of this mission is to make the Queen of the Sandworms submit to us so that we can become ingested by the worms. They literally like swallow you.
They literally swallow you.
And somehow we can control them while they do this.
I know.
It's not clear how this works.
No, we can like use their skills. They don't digest us, so that's always good.
Yeah, I guess we don't go down far enough to get like the dissolving enzymes.
We get stuck in their gullet. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to think that they have a little pouch, like a little ways into the throat that you can just kind of sit in.
And that you can use their eyes to see, so you know where you're going and know what to do.
It's like a submarine. They've got a periscope that you can tug over to your eye.
They're basically, wormy submarines.
Yeah, it's pretty gross if you think about it. You just got to try to not think about it too much.
No.
How did this mission go for you?
I mean, it was fine. I followed the wiki's advice of pinning your party or flagging your party to the top of the hill to use the height advantage. So you flag him at the place where Joko first stops, let him wander away, and pull smaller groups of enemies towards you to take them down, and things go easier. And I did that. And it was fine.
Yeah, the first thing we have to do is like beat the Janundu Queen into submission so that she'll let us ride worms. She has like undead servants. I believe so these undead are undead we haven't seen before. They're called Awakened.
Yes.
And I believe they're the former servants of Paolo Joko, right?
Yes.
I think that's the idea. And they just roam the desolation because that like used to be his domain. And they're like masterless undead that are just evil and up to bad shit. And they're a pretty motley crew. They're like varied in how they look. Some of them are centaurs. Some of them are giants. There's awakened gray giants. They take their head off, and their head becomes an awakened head. It's great.
Yeah.
And then there's just like foot soldiers and stuff too.
Yes, exactly.
And they apparently they work for the Janundu Queen because they're like attacking us in waves.
Right, because if the Janundu Queen was also a minion, or if Joko had like tamed her, I guess.
Yeah.
They would all be working together because they're all part of the same team now.
Yeah, the CEO
Joko's
stepped
team?
down, so now like the senior VP is taking the reins.
Yeah.
And so like small waves of them attack. They're like not enough to be dangerous to your party. But you have to fight them right on the edge of the sulfur, where if you step in it, you
Yeah.
just instantly die.
Yes.
I tried to flag my heroes to the top of that cliff overlooking it because they're all
Uh-huh.
ranged, so there's no reason they should have to wander down there.
Right.
But I had issues with wandering, and
Well,
we lost
yeah.
quite a few people to the sulfur.
Oh no. Yeah, it was. Yeah, because like I flagged mine at the top, and Koss and Milani were still going down, and I was like, "Oh, don't go too far." And so I didn't actually lose them. I don't know if that's because Dunkoro was doing a good job of healing, or if they just didn't get close enough. Because I never really saw them taking damage,
Mm.
other than whatever attacks they may have gotten hit with
Yeah, the
by
life bar
the.
just instantly snuffs to 0 if they stand in the sulfur too long.
Yeah, that didn't happen. So I guess I flagged them in the right spot, or a little bit, not at the edge, but a little bit back from the tippy edge.
Hmm. Yeah, it was enough to be annoying, but I've got unyielding aura on Dunkoro, so it wasn't a huge deal. And you
That's
don't
good.
get death penalty from sulfur deaths either, so it didn't create that kind of an issue.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, at least I didn't see any death because I died to the sulfur at one point, I think, and I didn't see any death penalty.
I guess the idea is that you just get instantly dissolved.
Yeah,
So
it's
why
annoying and
death penalty you?
yeah, it's annoying enough. It's there to force you to use the worm. It is not there to penalize you for falling for it, if that makes sense.
Right.
And yeah, the queen will come in occasionally, and you'll beat her up, and eventually you beat her down to 0, and she's your friend, and you can get in the
Yeah.
worms.
Yeah, and Joko all the while is like, "Oh, impressive."
Yeah,
So
he's like, no
you
one has
you
passed the second test except for me.
yeah, and you pass it easily, and he's just like, "Oh, okay, maybe you are worth something." Um, so Joko trying to shit talk us as well is kind of funny.
Yes, and we click on the worm spore, and my whole party is immediately ingested by worms.
Yes,
Um,
yep, and then we're all just slithering around the desert.
and there's the sound kind of devolves into just a rumble of 8 worms going through the desert.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if it was the sound in the region or the sheer volume of like stone shard crags that I was doing battle with, but there was like howling wind in the sound a lot of the time here for me.
Okay,
Did you
that
hear
kind of makes sense.
Did you
I
hear that
didn't
at
hear
all?
howling wind. No, but I don't think I had my sound
Yeah,
up.
maybe I got
And
my weather effects like turned too high.
yeah, I really. There are times when I'll play with like a headset on, and I'm like, I really need to do this more often, or turn my game sounds up a little bit louder, because the soundscape that they've got. I mean, I say this about ArenaNet's sound engineers all the time, that they do a really really good job.
Oh yeah, there's a
Um,
lot of unique sounds for the Jinundu too.
mhm,
Like
yeah.
when you do your transition from the worm back to the rock, it does like a rock
Mhm.
shattering noise. It's cool.
Mhm.
Do you like playing the Jinundu, or are you not a fan?
I find it slow, um,
Yeah,
but
I don't like it.
I mean, they can come in handy against Marganites. The wiki does say to not really fight the elementals, because the worms are not as effective against them.
Yeah, I got into because so you're in these worms, and we should probably set the precedent. These worms have 3,000 health each,
Yeah,
and they have a bite skill that does like 350 damage or something.
yeah.
Like a slam that does like 200 damage. They're like huge, high damage things, and you get to
Hmm.
control them. So, in response to that, the groups of enemies in the sulfurous desolation come in like 20 at a time.
Yeah.
And when you're fighting 20 stone shard crags and they all
It's a
cast sandstorm,
yeah,
your
yeah.
3,000 health does not last long.
No, no. So I was trying to avoid the elementals, and I would fight the Marganites, and if any of my party members were stupid enough to, and I think the wiki does say set them to like essentially passive so that they don't fight the elementals. I forgot to do that, so I lost a couple of them to the elementals, and I was like, well, screw you. You're out of my range of my little Janundu whale to res you guys. So you're on your own. I'm gonna chase Joko now so I can get to the end of this mission.
Did you just complete the mission down like a couple people?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He just left him in the
I just
desolation.
left
That's
him there.
ice cold.
Yeah, because I wanted them alive so that I needed extra like Janundu skills against the Marganites when I was rescuing the Janundu young for the bonus. But once I got all of 3 of the Janundu young, I was like, right, let's go. Oh, you're gonna stay and fight? I'm not going for you. Let's go.
Yeah, you got to break off from the main mission route several times to go save the Jinundu young, which is like the bonus. Yeah. It's not hard because the young are not getting attacked. No. So you can kind of just do this at your leisure. But it's annoying.
It is.
But I did it.
I did it as well.
Did you lose Joko at any point in this mission?
No.
I did.
I don't think he can be. How?
Yeah, there's even a thing on the so I got to the end and he was nowhere to be found. So of course I went back to look for him because I was like, oh well, you probably have to have him, right? And then I went to the wiki and I looked at the notes and the first note says, "Don't worry if you lose Joko, you don't need him at the end."
Oh yeah.
So I wasted like 5 minutes of my time going back through my whole route. So I just finished it without him and then he shows up at the cutscene at the end.
Right.
So he stayed with you the whole time.
He was kind of ahead of me, and I was trying not to get ahead of him. Figuring that because if you run other missions where you're supposed to be following an NPC and you get ahead of them, they get stuck.
Yeah.
And you've got to turn around and make them move again. So I was like, right, I'm gonna keep following you then, buddy.
Yeah, what the notes on the wiki said about Joko is that when that happens to him, when you get ahead of him and he gets stuck, he goes back to the beginning of the mission, apparently.
What a doofus, yeah.
So yeah, I'm thankful for whoever added that note to the wiki, warning us that we do not need him to keep up with us to finish. I appreciate that. Yeah. And then we kind of disgorge from the worms and we run up to the gate to the next outpost, which is titled in the mission log as the remains of Salhaja. Is that how you say it? I didn't.
Salhaja, yeah, I don't know.
I didn't write it down.
Lots of. There's 2 H's in this one to throw you. So yeah, Salhaja, sure.
Yeah, and then as we're running up, there are cutscene triggers. Did you get the master's reward?
Yeah, because I saved the Janundu young.
Yeah, I was wondering if I wouldn't get it because I took too long going back to look for Joko, but I still got it. So I guess I didn't take too long.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think it's a timed one. I think it's just the objective one. So long as you get the 3 of 3, you're good.
Good. That makes me happy. I was reviewing my mission record, and I think I only missed the bonus on 1 mission so far, which was Mada Crevice, because of those stupid runners.
Yeah, Monarch Crevice and then Jenner's Horde was the one that I didn't get the bonus on because I was like, nope.
Oh yeah, Nightmare Fuel. How did this? What happened in this cutscene for you?
So Joko shows up and he's like, "Well, you're more capable than I thought," and Zed, of course, starts to shit talk him back at him. He's like, "Well, you're with your low expectations. That's not hard," and he calls him a plow horse. He's like, never mind, I'm just going to take my leave. Yeah. And Zed basically is like, no, let's not let him go. He preyed on my people for centuries. We need to take him back to his tomb.
Yeah, Joko is like your uncle at Thanksgiving meeting your new boyfriend for the first time, level racist.
Yeah.
It's like it's hilarious and also deeply uncomfortable at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to work with him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we got to let him go.
And we decide to let him go, and Zed says, no, he's dangerous. We should burn him. Back to your question about what happens when he burns.
Yeah.
And our character says, well, he gave us what we wanted. Let's just let him go. And Zed is like, we're going to regret doing that.
Zed literally says, he will be back. We're going to regret this.
Yeah.
That is the understatement of several centuries.
Yes.
Yeah, because what happens with Joko in the future is like makes Abaddon coming back look like small potatoes almost.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we kind of let Joko wander off, and that's
Yeah.
where we spawn into an outpost called the Remains of Salhaja. We now know how to ride the worms, so we can continue to pursue our way across the desolation, and that is kind of where we leave the plot for this episode.
Yeah. Did you notice a skill on your Janundu bar with a question mark on it?
I did. It's the elite skill. It says I have not trained my Janundo to do whatever this is yet.
Yeah, I know. And I'm sitting here hitting it. I was like, why isn't this going off? And why? Oh, right. I had forgotten about that dumb mechanic that they worked in.
Well, and I don't
Because I'm like,
remember is the elite skill, tiny spoiler, but it's called Janundu Siege, and it's basically a ranged attack that does like 500 damage.
mhm.
Is it part of the plot getting this skill, or is it like a side quest to get this skill?
I have a feeling it's a side quest, but
Okay.
I didn't look it up, one, but I'm going off of memory, which is always sketch and never to be trusted with me. But I have a feeling that it's a side quest and not directly,
Okay. Well, we'll
so
probably
I don't know.
we'll probably
We
go
need to
figure
figure
it
that
out.
out.
We'll probably go figure it
Yeah.
out. I know you have to go to. Here's the thing. I remember the quest line to get this elite skill for the worms being super annoying. Like I would
Mm-hmm.
groan every time I do this. I think I did
Mm-hmm.
it on a few characters. So, um,
Yeah.
because you need it if you ever farmed the max Sunspear and Lightbringer titles. A popular way to do that was with the worms and the desolation, and people wouldn't take you in their group unless you had the siege skill. So I had to suffer through that to max those out back
Right.
in the day.
Yeah.
Um, that's going to be everything though for the content we covered this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Next episode, we're probably just going to continue with the desolation. We'll probably find some desolation related side quests to do.
Yeah. There's some good ones that I'm looking forward to, I think, later
Yeah,
on. I think some of them might be offshoots of like some primary quests.
yeah, because I know there's like a
Um,
major outpost that we're coming up on that should have some questing for us to do.
mhm.
And then there should be a mission somewhere along the line.
Oh yeah, I'm
So
sure there is.
we're going to be coming in with either, depending on how much side quest content there is, either a side quest episode or another plot and side quest episode.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for episode 42 where we'll be jumping into that, guys. And until then, Miko, where can people find you on the internet?
Hey, the good people. You can find me at Inky Sticks on Twitter, Blue Sky. Mainly it. I mean, I'm elsewhere, but I don't really post much. I retweet a lot.
Yeah, the internet
And
has
by a
driven
lot,
me
it
away.
usually. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Social media, I'm just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but I do a lot of reposting of our stuff. So if you ever miss our main tweets, if you follow me, you'll get them. And if you follow both of our accounts, you'll get them twice.
Yes. And you can follow the show at Tyria Now on Twitter, Blue Sky, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
And guys, leave a comment, right? If we talked about anything interesting that you'd like to expand upon. I'm sure I got a bunch of lore facts wrong when I went over the ancient weapons, and feel free to fill me in. And guys, if you want to share the show, we don't do like advertising or or we don't have a huge following or anything like that. So word of mouth is a huge generator of traffic to the show. If you'd like some fellow viewers to chat about the show with, the best way is to share it with people. So any platform you like, link the show to your friends if you think they might like it. And that will do it for episode 41 of Tyria Then. We will be back in a couple weeks with another episode. Until then, we will see everybody later. Bye, guys.
Bye.